And how do you feel when you stop? How do you feel when you think about giving up an hour of your day to meditation practice? Giving up an hour to do nothing. How do you feel? I mean, here it's different because we're really all together, we're supporting each other, we're lending each other our faith in this process. But how about at home when you have a long to-do list and you sit down to meditate, right? Is it easy to sit there and do nothing? Can you trust that the nothing that you're doing is of immense significance? That you're really watering that thirst, even though you may not feel a moment of inspiration or love or stillness or peace even. So finding the courage to carry the intention in our heart to moisten the heart, to water the heart with what our hearts really are most longing for, I think, a chance to stop. And really, there's a beautiful poem that I quote sometimes by Raymond Carver. It's called Late Fragment. And Raymond Carver is a short story writer who he lived many difficult years as a pretty intense alcoholic, and then he got sober, and the last 10 years of his life he was sober, and he was in a really good marriage to the poet Tess Gallagher. And then he got a brain tumor and he was dying, and he knew he was dying, and it's very poignant because he celebrates the 10 really beautiful, good, sober years he had to work and to love and so forth. But then the last little fragment of poem, he says, he has a little dialogue with himself, and he asks himself a question, and he says, so, did you get what you wanted from this life, even so? And I like that even so. In spite of it all, we all have that even so that makes up a lot of our life. Did you get what you wanted from this life, even so? And he answers, yes. And then he asks himself in the poem, kind of paraphrasing, he asks himself in the poem, and what was it? And he says, to feel myself beloved on this earth, to know myself beloved on this earth. So to feel ourselves beloved on this earth, what do we actually need? Do we need somebody outside of ourselves to love us? That's very nice. But what do we actually need? So that's a question I'm not going to answer. I'm going to leave you with this question. And we can just